Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to ask you a question. Do you feel like you study English, but you don't really improve? You spend time, you memorize words, you read grammar rules, but when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank. You open your mouth, but the words don't come out. If this sounds familiar, stay with me, because this video is made for you. Many learners face the same problem. They work hard, but they don't see results. They feel tired, frustrated, and sometimes they even want to give up. But don't give up yet, because there is another way. In this video, you will learn the secrets of super efficient English learning. These methods are not about working harder. They are about working smarter. You will see how to get maximum results with minimum effort. You will learn how to use English in a natural way, how to make progress without feeling stressed, and how to enjoy the process. Step by step, I will show you powerful tricks that anyone can use. And at the end, I will reveal the most powerful secret that makes all of these methods work perfectly together. You don't want to miss it. So, let's begin. Chapter 1. The problem with traditional learning. Let me tell you a story. It is about a man named David. David was from Brazil. He had a big dream. He wanted to get a better job in an international company, but for that, he needed English. So David decided to study hard. Every evening after work, he opened his grammar books. He studied tenses, present perfect, past continuous, future conditional. He read about irregular verbs. He tried to remember long lists of vocabulary: apple, book, car, desk, elephant. He copied words many times into his notebook. He stayed up late, sometimes until midnight, trying to push all this information into his brain. But here is the problem. After 3 months, David felt very tired. He had studied a lot, but when he tried to speak, nothing came out. At work, he wanted to say one simple sentence in English, but his mind went blank. He could remember rules, but he could not use them. He knew hundreds of words, but he could not put them into a conversation. His English looked strong on paper, but weak in real life. Does this sound familiar to you? Have you ever felt tired after studying English for hours, but still couldn't remember simple phrases when you needed them? You are not alone. Millions of English learners around the world have the same experience. They spend so much time and energy, but they don't see real results. And this is why many learners feel disappointed, even hopeless. They think, maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe English is too hard for me. But the truth is different. The problem is not you. The problem is the method. Traditional learning is heavy. It is full of pressure. Think about the way most schools teach English. The teacher gives you a grammar book. You study rules about conditionals, passive voice, modal verbs. You write exercises. You memorize irregular verb tables: go, went, gone, eat, ate, eaten. Maybe you get a high score in a test, but when a tourist asks you for directions on the street, you freeze. You studied so much, but you cannot say, turn left at the corner. Why? Because traditional learning teaches you about English, but it does not teach you how to use English. Imagine learning to swim only by reading a book about swimming. You read about how to move your arms and legs. You read about breathing techniques. You even memorize swimming vocabulary. But when you finally go to the pool, you sink. Why? Because reading about swimming is not the same as swimming. The same is true for English. Reading rules is not the same as speaking. Writing word lists is not the same as using words in real conversations. Here is the key point. Efficiency means results, not effort. You don't become a good English speaker just because you work hard. You become good when your method gives results. And the truth is, traditional methods give very little result for the time you spend. They make you feel like you are learning, but when the real moment comes, you cannot use what you learned. Let's go back to David. After months of studying, he was exhausted. He wanted to give up. One evening, he said to himself, "I studied for 3 hours today, but I still cannot say one simple sentence without mistakes. What is wrong with me?" Nothing was wrong with David. He was smart, he was motivated, but he was following the wrong path. The traditional path is like trying to climb a huge mountain with a heavy backpack. You feel tired before you reach the top. Now think about yourself. Maybe you also tried this way. You sat with your grammar book. You memorized vocabulary lists. You filled pages with exercises. But when a real person asked you a question in English, your brain went silent. You wanted to answer, but no words came. Does this sound familiar? If yes, then you are starting to see the truth. Traditional learning is not efficient. It takes your time, your energy, but it does not give you the result you want. And here comes the exciting part. If the problem is not you, but the method, then the solution is simple. You don't need to change yourself. You don't need to become smarter or work harder. You just need a better method. A method that gives more results in less time. A method that helps you use English, not just study it. That is what this video is about. In the next chapters, I will show you how to leave the heavy, traditional way behind and start using the super efficient way. You will learn how to make progress without stress, without pressure, and without wasting your time. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear will change the way you think about learning English forever. Chapter 2. The Secret of Input, Listening and Reading. Now that we understand the problem with traditional learning, let me tell you about a powerful secret. This secret is called input. Input means what goes into your brain, the English you hear and the English you read. It is like food for your language brain. Without input, your brain is hungry. With input, your brain becomes strong. Many learners make the mistake of trying to produce English too soon. They try to memorize grammar rules and force themselves to speak before their brain is ready. But efficient learners understand that input comes before output. Just like a baby hears thousands of hours of language before saying the first word, you also need to hear and read a lot of English before you can speak fluently. Let me tell you a story. There was a girl named Amina. She lived in Morocco and wanted to improve her English, but she was busy with work and family. She didn't have time for long classes or heavy textbooks. Instead, she made a small change. Every day she watched one short video on YouTube in English. It could be a funny clip, a cooking recipe, or a travel vlog. At first, she understood very little, but she always used English subtitles. Slowly, her brain started to catch words and phrases. She also loved music, so she listened to English songs every evening while washing dishes. She looked at the lyrics and sang along. It was fun. It was easy. It did not feel like study. After 3 months, something amazing happened. Amina could recognize many common phrases. She understood jokes in videos. When she listened to songs, she could catch whole lines without looking at the lyrics. She was not memorizing grammar. She was not doing boring exercises. She was simply surrounding herself with English every day. And her brain was learning naturally. Now I want to ask you directly. Have you ever noticed that you can study grammar for hours, but forget it the next day? But when you watch your favorite TV show in English, some words stay in your head without effort? That is the power of input. Your brain loves stories, music, and images. When you connect words to feelings and context, they stick. Here is a challenge for you. Tonight, before you go to sleep, try watching one short video in English with subtitles. It doesn't need to be long. Even 2 minutes is enough. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Don't pause, don't translate, just watch and listen. You will be surprised at how much your brain catches. The next day, watch the same video again. The second time, you will understand more. This simple action is 10 times more powerful than memorizing a list of 20 random words. Think about how babies learn. They don't sit with grammar books. They don't study verb tables. They hear the language again and again from parents, from cartoons, from songs. After months of listening, they start to speak. At first, their sentences are short and simple, but they are real, living sentences. You can learn the same way. Give your brain enough input, and speaking will come naturally. Many learners are afraid of listening. They say, "It's too fast, I don't understand." But here is the good news. You don't need to understand everything. Even if you understand only 30%, your brain is still working. Your brain is catching sounds, rhythm, and patterns. Over time, your percentage goes up. 30 becomes 50, 50 becomes 70, and soon you will surprise yourself. Reading is also powerful input. Start small. Read one headline, one simple story, one short article. Don't try to understand every single word. Just let your eyes see English every day. The more your brain sees English, the more familiar it becomes. It is like watering a plant. Small drops every day make the plant grow strong. Now let's go back to Amina. After 6 months of daily input, she met a tourist from England in her city. The tourist asked her for directions in English. At first, Amina felt nervous, but then she realized she understood the question. She answered with simple words, and the tourist understood her. She could not believe it. She did not study grammar rules, she did not memorize long lists, but she could communicate. That is the magic of input. So remember this. Input comes before output. Listening and reading are the keys that open the door to speaking and writing. If you surround yourself with English every day, your brain will do the hard work for you. You don't need to force it. Just like a baby, you can grow naturally into the language. Stay with me, because in the next chapter, we will talk about the secret of small daily habits. You will see why even 5 minutes a day can change your English forever. Chapter 3. The Magic of Small Daily Habits. Now let's talk about something very important, something that can change the way you think about learning English forever. It is the magic of small daily habits. Many learners believe they need long hours of study to improve. They think, if I can study for 2 hours every Saturday, I will get better. But the truth is different. 2 hours once a week is not as powerful as 5 minutes every single day. Yes, just 5 minutes can beat 2 hours. How is that possible? Because the brain learns best with small, repeated steps. Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to get strong muscles. If you go to the gym once a week and lift heavy weights for 2 hours, you will feel very tired. Your muscles will hurt, and maybe you will even give up after a few weeks. But if you do 10 push-ups every single day, it is easy. It takes only 1 minute. You don't feel pressure. And after 1 month, you are stronger than the person who goes to the gym only once a week. This is because consistency is more important than intensity. Small actions done daily create big changes. The same is true for English. If you spend 5 minutes each day listening to English, reading one short text, or practicing one useful sentence, your brain is getting repeated input. Every day, your brain is touching English. It becomes familiar, like a friend you see every day. After weeks and months, the results will surprise you. Now let's make this even more clear. I want you to imagine something. Imagine you learn one useful English sentence every single day. Just one. For example, could you say that again, please? That's day 1. The next day you learn, what do you call this in English? That's day 2. Another day you learn, can I have a cup of tea, please? Simple, useful sentences. After 1 year, you will know 365 sentences. Think about that. With 365 sentences, you can handle almost any daily situation. Ordering food, asking for help, introducing yourself, starting a conversation. You don't need thousands of words or complicated grammar. Just 365 sentences can open the world to you. Isn't that exciting? Let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Leo from Italy. Leo always wanted to speak English, but he was busy with work. He thought he didn't have time. One day, he decided to try something new. He gave himself one rule. I will do at least 5 minutes of English every day. Some days he listened to an English song. Some days he read one short news headline. Some days he practiced one sentence out loud, only 5 minutes. At first, it felt too easy, but that was the point. It was so easy he could not say no. After 3 months, Leo noticed something strange. He could remember many sentences without trying. When he watched movies, he understood common expressions. When he met tourists in Rome, he felt confident to say hello and start a small conversation. He was not fluent yet, but he was using English in real life, and he realized something powerful. Those 5 minutes were growing. Some days he wanted to do more. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but without pressure. He discovered that small habits grow naturally into bigger habits. Now let me ask you directly, what sounds easier to you? Studying for 2 hours every Saturday or spending 5 minutes every day? Which one can you keep doing for 1 year without giving up? Of course, 5 minutes. And here is the secret. 5 minutes every day is more effective. It builds a strong habit. It keeps your brain fresh. It makes English part of your life, not just part of your study. Think again about the story of Leo. He did not sit with heavy books. He did not force himself to memorize long lists. He just touched English every single day. And because of that, he made progress without stress. You can do the same. Start today. Choose one tiny action. Listen to one short audio, read one sentence, or practice one phrase out loud. Do it every day. It is small, but it is powerful. So remember this golden rule. Small daily habits create big results. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for a free weekend. Start now with 5 minutes. Your future self will thank you. Stay with me because in the next chapter, we will talk about how to use English actively without pressure. You will see how simple actions like speaking one sentence out loud can give you real confidence. Chapter 4. Active Use Without Pressure. Up until now, we have talked about why traditional learning feels heavy, how input through listening and reading shapes your brain, and how small habits create real progress. But there is one moment every learner must face: the moment of using English. Many learners are afraid of this step. They keep studying, but when they try to speak or write, they feel frozen. They tell themselves, "I'm not ready yet. I need more vocabulary. I need more grammar." But here is the truth. If you wait until you feel ready, you will wait forever. The secret is to start using English now, but without pressure. Think of the difference between studying English and using English. Studying is when you sit with a book, try to memorize words, or analyze grammar rules. This is like preparing for a game. But using English is like playing the game itself. Talking, writing, sending messages, commenting, even saying a phrase out loud in your room. Too many learners get stuck in preparation mode. They study for years but never step onto the field. And when they finally try, they panic because they have no practice in real action. That is why you need to bring English into daily use in small, pressure-free steps. Let's start with something very simple: speaking one sentence aloud. Right now, I want you to repeat after me. Ready? The sentence is, "Could you say that again, please?" This is a very useful phrase in daily life. If someone speaks too fast, you can use it. Now, say it out loud right now. Don't just think it in your head. Really say it. Could you say that again, please? Good. Do you feel it? Your mouth is practicing. Your brain is connecting. This small action is not about perfection. It's about breaking the fear barrier. Here's another example. Leaving a comment in English. It doesn't need to be long or perfect. Imagine you watch a video and type, "Nice video, thank you." That's already using English. Or maybe you listen to a song and write, "I love this song." Small actions like this build the muscle of communication. You don't need to write an essay. You just need to use English in real life little by little. And here's one more. Sending a short message. You don't have to write a long letter. Maybe you send a friend, "Good morning." Or you message someone online, "How are you?" These tiny uses of English feel easy, but they are powerful. They teach your brain, "I can do this." And the more you do it, the stronger your confidence grows. Let me share a story. I once met a learner who always studied quietly. He read grammar books, watched videos, and filled notebooks with words. But when it came time to speak, he felt stuck. Then he changed his method. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, he started saying just one sentence out loud every day. Sometimes he asked himself, "What did I eat today?" and answered in English, "I ate rice." Other times he looked around his room and said, "This is my chair. That is my desk." At first it felt silly, but after some weeks he noticed something magical. When someone asked him a question in English, he answered without thinking too much. The practice had built a bridge in his brain. Suddenly, he was not scared to use English. That is the power of practice without pressure. When you remove the idea that you must be perfect, you open the door to real growth. Nobody expects you to speak like a native right now. Even if your sentence is simple, it is valuable. Remember, studying English fills your brain, but using English gives you life. So let me ask you directly, will you take action today? Will you speak just one sentence aloud, send one short message, or write one small comment? If you do, you are not just learning, you are living the language. The path to confidence is not big, dramatic steps. It is these small, daily uses of English without fear, without judgment, without pressure. And every time you do it, you move closer to the moment when English feels natural. Chapter 5. Technology as your free teacher. Let me tell you a story. A young learner once felt stuck with English. He had studied for years, but grammar books and heavy lessons always left him tired. One day he decided to do something simple. He changed the language of his phone from his native language to English. At first it felt strange. When he wanted to open his photos, he saw Gallery. When he checked his messages, he saw Inbox. He didn't understand every word, but slowly, without realizing it, he started learning new words every single day. After just 1 month, he could recognize more than 50 useful English words, not from a dictionary, not from a class, but from the device he used every day. Now think about your own life. How many hours do you spend on your phone? Maybe 3 hours, maybe 5, maybe even more. Here's the spike. Your phone is already in your hand for 5 hours a day. Why not make those 5 hours your English classroom? You don't need to buy expensive courses. You don't need a private teacher. You already have a teacher that travels with you everywhere, your technology. So how can you use it? Let's begin with the simplest step. Change your phone settings to English. This small change forces your brain to see English every day in real-life situations. You will see words like save, delete, copy, settings, search, and download. These are not just random words. They are words you use all the time, words that connect directly with actions. When you learn them, they stay in your memory much longer because you don't just read them. You use them. Next, let's talk about subtitles. Watching movies or short videos with English subtitles is one of the most powerful free tools you have. Why? Because subtitles connect what you hear with what you see. Your brain begins to match sounds with written words. For example, when you hear "what's up" and see it written, you learn not only the sound, but also the spelling and the natural speed of how people say it. This is how children learn from cartoons, and it works for adults too. If you watch just 10 minutes every night before bed, your brain will start to catch patterns without extra effort. Then there are dictionary apps. These are not just for translating difficult words. A good dictionary app can give you example sentences, synonyms, and even audio pronunciation. Imagine you read a word like opportunity. Instead of just reading the translation, you listen to the sound, repeat it aloud, and read the example sentence. This is a great opportunity to learn. Suddenly, the word is not just a piece of knowledge, it becomes a tool you can use. Another powerful tool is voice messages. Many learners feel nervous speaking English face-to-face. But recording a short voice message in English, even if it is only 10 seconds long, is a safe way to practice. You can send it to a friend who is also learning, or even just record it for yourself. When you listen to your own voice in English, you notice your mistakes, but you also notice your progress. Each small message builds confidence. And don't forget translation check. It's okay to use Google Translate or similar apps, but use them in a smart way. Don't copy full paragraphs. Instead, try to write your own sentence in English first, then check if it is correct. If it's not perfect, you learn from the correction. Over time, you will need to check less and less because your brain starts to remember naturally. Let's add one more challenge for you. Tonight, when you use your phone, don't just scroll in your own language. Try one of these steps. Watch a short English video with subtitles, change one app to English, or write one short comment in English. It doesn't matter if it's simple, like nice video or I like this. The important thing is that you use your technology not just for fun, but also for learning. The truth is, efficiency is not about working harder. It is about working smarter. Your phone, your apps, your internet, they are tools. They can waste your time, or they can transform your English. The choice is yours. Imagine this. 1 year from now, if you turn your daily phone time into English time, you will understand movies more easily, you will read faster, and you will speak with more confidence. All without extra cost, all without heavy textbooks. Technology is already part of your life. Make it your free teacher. Chapter 6. The Final Secret. Consistency over intensity. All throughout this video, I've been sharing with you methods and ideas to make English learning easier, more natural, and more efficient. But from the very beginning, I told you there was one powerful secret that connects everything together, one truth that separates people who succeed in English from those who give up. And now, it is time to reveal it. The final secret is not about grammar, not about vocabulary, and not even about how many hours you study. The final secret is about consistency, not intensity. It is the simple, powerful act of showing up every day, even if it's only for a few minutes. Think about it. Many learners believe they need to work very hard for long hours to make progress. They sit down one weekend, open a big grammar book, and study for 3 hours. But then, because it feels heavy and exhausting, they don't touch English again for another week. What happens? They forget almost everything they studied. They have to start again. It feels like climbing a hill, then sliding all the way back down. No wonder it feels frustrating. Now compare that with a learner who studies just 10 minutes every day. At first, 10 minutes may not look like much. It looks too small to make a difference. But those 10 minutes become a daily rhythm. 10 minutes today, 10 minutes tomorrow, 10 minutes the day after that. After 1 week, that's more than an hour of focused practice. After 1 month, it's 4 or 5 hours. After 1 year, it's 50 or 60 hours, and all without stress. And because this learner studies every single day, their brain never forgets. The knowledge grows layer by layer, stronger and deeper, until English becomes part of their life. Have you ever noticed how water can cut through rock, not by force, but by persistence? A river doesn't hit the rock with one powerful splash and disappear. No. It flows every day, little by little, drop by drop, until the hardest stone becomes smooth. That is what consistency does in language learning. It turns something impossible into something natural. Spike. So let me ask you directly, what about your own life? Even if you are lazy, even if you are busy, can you give 5 minutes every day? Can you watch one video, read one short text, or repeat one sentence? 5 minutes might feel like nothing, but it is the doorway to everything. I once met a learner who proved this in the most amazing way. She was a nurse, always busy with work, family, and night shifts. She had no time for English classes, no time for long study, but she made a simple promise to herself. Every day, before bed, she would do 5 minutes. Sometimes it was listening to a podcast, sometimes reading a short article, sometimes writing one sentence in a notebook. That was all. 5 minutes, every single day, without excuses. At first, it felt small, but after 3 months, she realized she could understand basic conversations without translating. After 6 months, she started speaking with confidence. After 1 year, she was holding full conversations with foreign patients in English, something she had once believed was impossible. She did not do it with long, intense study. She did it with consistency. This is why consistency is the final secret. Because all the other methods, listening to input, creating small habits, using technology, only work if you return to them again and again. It is like building a house. You don't put up all the walls in one day. You place one brick every day, and slowly the house rises. That is how fluency is built. Not in one day, not in 1 week, but step by step. So I want you to imagine your own journey now. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect long study session, 1 year will pass and nothing will change. But if you start today with 5 minutes, and tomorrow with 5 minutes, and the day after that with 5 minutes, 1 year from now, you will be speaking English with a confidence you never believed possible. That is the power of consistency. That is the final secret. And now it is in your hands. You just discovered the full system of super efficient English learning. Now you understand the power of small daily steps, the secret of input, and the importance of simple, pressure-free practice. These are not just ideas. They are tools you can use today to completely change your English journey. But here's the key. You must take action. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start right now. If this video gave you value, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and write one English sentence in the comments that you will practice today. Writing it down will make your learning stronger, and sharing it here will inspire other learners too. Together, we can build a community of daily progress. Step by step, your English will grow. Let's keep going. Let's keep learning, and let's grow together.